Hello and welcome to another edition of News Showcase. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. As Delhi battles severe water scarcity, the Supreme Court has told Himachal Pradesh to share additional water. According to reports, the Himalayan state had agreed to help out. The court also urged another neighbor, Haryana, to maintain uninterrupted supplies to Delhi amid a water-sharing row between the two sides. The court has instructed authorities in Delhi not to waste water. A fine of rupees 2,000 is already in place for misuse of drinking water, for washing vehicles and watering plants. Residents mobbing water tankers have become a familiar scene across Delhi in recent weeks, where unprecedented heat waves have killed many and caused water bodies to dry up. Some reports said Delhi and surrounding areas recorded very high temperatures for the first time in history. There was some relief from the heat in Delhi after spells of rain and strong winds overnight. The weather service said the sudden showers slashed the temperature that had surged to 44 degrees Celsius. The rains were a sign of the approaching monsoon as authorities sought reports from various departments on the status of drains in the city and clearing operations. Delhi's congested neighborhoods with narrow streets and cluttered with unplanned buildings faced disruptions during showers. The city's road systems also suffer in the event of rains, slowing down traffic and causing accidents on flooded roads. At least 9 Indian trekkers died in the Himalayas after becoming stuck during a blizzard on Wednesday. Authorities said rescue crews have airlifted their bodies and 5 survivors to safety. The Indian Air Force released a video that showed rescue crews in the snow-covered terrain huddled together next to a chopper. The climbers belong to Karnataka state and they got stuck in snow in the isolated highlands after the blizzard. A minister in the state said a guide accompanying the group informed rescuers about the incident before rescue teams arrived at the location early on Wednesday. The minister explained that the group had huddled together for the night, and some died after snow and wind made movement impossible and visibility dropped to zero. Tight security was in place around India's famous Golden Temple as Sikhs remembered the military operation at the site to flush out militants. Social media footage showed Sikhs at the temple in Amritsar raising slogans in support of Khalistan, a movement that backs a separate state for the community. Video clips showed people holding up images of a Sikh militant leader of the movement who was killed in the military strike, code-named Operation Blue Star, at the temple in 1984. India's Prime Minister at the time, Indira Gandhi, ordered the army to take out the militants who were hiding in the temple, which angered many in the Sikh community. Months later, she was assassinated by her bodyguard who was a member of the Sikh religion. Devotees thronged the main temple in Tamil Nadu's Rameshwaram to mark the auspicious new moon day. Hundreds of them gathered at the Ramanatha Swami temple along the eastern coastline. On this day, Hindus remember their ancestors and offer prayers and perform rituals. The temple dedicated to Hindu god Shiva is a major pilgrimage site in the southern state, which draws devotees from other parts of the country and from outside. The location is also home to an iconic rail line and a bridge across the sea that connects the mainland with nearby islets. Officials in Gaza said at least 27 people have died after an Israeli airstrike on a UN school that was home to hundreds of displaced people. The Israeli military said it attacked the school that was what it called a Hamas compound and killed militants who took part in the raid on southern Israel in October last year. 2 missiles fired by an Israeli warplane targeting classrooms on the upper floor of the school in the Nuseirat refugee camp. Hamas propaganda office has accused Israel of carrying out a horrific massacre. The casualties have been rushed to a local hospital by ambulances and rescue crews. Social media footage featured demolished classrooms and bodies at a morgue covered with shrouds. With 2 NASA astronauts on board, the U.S. aerospace company Boeing finally launched its Starliner capsule toward the International Space Station. After a long delay and a difficult development program, this is the first time the capsule is carrying passengers. The capsule will be tested by Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams during the expedition that will take somewhat more than a week. Starliner is expected to dock with the space station on Thursday. Riding aboard an Atlas rocket from the United Launch Alliance, the capsule lifted off from Florida's Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. The 12-minute climb into deep space appeared perfect. Starliner must now ascend to the International Space Station's orbit, which is positioned above the Earth at a height of about 400 kilometers. Russian President Vladimir Putin has issued a warning threatening to arm countries that can hit targets in the West. The warning comes in wake of the United States and Germany telling Ukraine to use their weapons to hit targets inside Russia. The UK has also supplied weapons but said it was up to Ukraine to decide how it wants to use them. In comments to foreign reporters, Putin warned of a very serious problem in the future. He made no mention of which nations Moscow could arm, but he specifically mentioned Germany, which allowed Ukraine to use its long-range weaponry to strike targets in Russia. Reports say Russia is using North Korean missiles and Iranian drones in its invasion of Ukraine, which started 2 years ago. France and the UK are celebrating the 80th anniversary of the Allied invasion of France. International dignitaries attending an official ceremony on Omaha Beach include King Charles III and US President Joe Biden. Tens of thousands of soldiers landed on 5 beaches in northern France's Normandy on June 6 in 1944. Nazi Germany was ultimately defeated in the wake of the greatest amphibious invasion in military history. The National Memorial Arboretum in Staffordshire is also hosting memorial services for British veterans who are unable to travel back to France. The Royal Ulster Rifles landed by air and water on June 6. It was the only British regiment to hit the beach. It was made up of volunteers for the Great Crusade to secure freedom for Europe, who were troops from all around Great Britain and Ireland. The Netherlands is voting in the European Parliament election that is being held throughout the 27 EU member states between June 6th and 9th. Populist leader Geert Wilders appears to be headed for big gains on Thursday. His anti-immigration Freedom Party and the Labour-Green Left combine tied for first place in a national opinion survey released the night before the election. Both parties were predicted to win 8 seats. For Wilders, who lost out on a seat in the 2019 EU election, this would be a significant victory. For years, Wilders advocated for the Netherlands to exit the EU, but he softened his stance and abandoned his plan to conduct a referendum on the nation's EU membership in the lead-up to this election. The U.S. State Department has approved the sale of spares for F-16 fighter jets supplied to Taiwan. The deal is said to be worth $80 million. The Pentagon's Defense Security Cooperation Agency said in a statement that the sale will improve the security of the recipient and assist in maintaining political stability, military balance, and economic progress in the region. Taiwan expressed gratitude to the U.S. and stated that the sale would help the Air Force's preparation for battle. The government said the deal would be completed in July. Beijing has frequently told the United States to stop providing the island with weaponry. Beijing claims Taiwan is a breakaway Chinese province and it has vowed to unite it with the mainland. Chipmaker Nvidia has surpassed Apple to become the second most valuable publicly traded business globally. With a market valuation that has surpassed $3 trillion, the company's share price increased by over 5% to surpass $1,224. It continued a startlingly quick ascent that began last year, propelled by wages that the company is well positioned to benefit greatly from a surge of artificial intelligence investment. Because of its investments in ChatGPT creator OpenAI, its market worth is currently behind that of Microsoft, another significant participant in the sector. Nvidia, which was valued as recently as February at just $2 trillion, provoked a fresh round of share buybacks when it revealed intentions for a stock split last month. Nvidia was first recognized for producing computer processors that processed graphics, especially for video games, when it was founded in 1993. Thank you for watching. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Do tune in, same time tomorrow, for a roundup of the latest news and updates in India and around the world.